Speaking of manufacturing bigotry, let's talk about Brian's favorite author.
Oh, Brian, you got to be loving this. I mean, this dude is just getting his oppressed dick kicked in everywhere.
I've read his book, and it's a terrible book. And he is an intellectual lightweight who sees racism everywhere because it's a fetish for him, and he's just never exposed himself ever to anybody else's idea. And he refuses to debate anybody. But he makes a fortune.
Well,
he makes a fortune with corporations telling him how to be less racist. That guy's the biggest grifter on the planet. Bring him up again.
Yeah. But what's funny, Brian, is like he's like this grift. Like Spotify realized that they made some big mistakes because they gave these huge deals. To these people, and none of them did anything.
I know.
It's like that's the sign of a grift. Like this guy's done nothing. He got paid all this money to produce all this stuff, and he produced none of it.
The BU Center for Anti-Racist Research. Wow. Okay.
So I think they got $43 million.
Listen, he's very wealthy. Good for him.
Funding and grants.
But he's not. That's what everyone's talking about. He's having real financial problems right now.
He is, or they are.
He is, because he's basically.
Well, he had stage 4 colon cancer. He went through a real health scare, and so did his wife. I think his wife was very sick.
Oh,
too.
that sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I read his book in earnest, and I really took my time with it, and I read I listened to commentary on the book and stuff. I gave him a real shake, the way I've read the anti-racist. I mean, the critical race theorists who have something to say, actually. There's some good scholarship in it.
Yeah.
But that anti-racist stuff, wow. That is just weak scholarship. And it's very telling that Ibram Kendi won't even debate anyone. He won't debate or go on podcasts with anybody who wants a pushback or at least question him. He won't do it. Because
Have you ever seen him? So Mark Dice played a funny clip. He's getting interviewed live on stage by this race baiter who used to work at ESPN, and the crowd, the whitest white guy, asked him to define what racism is, and he gives this answer that everybody in the room just goes collectively, "Are you serious? Is that what you just said?"
Yeah, I can tell you what his answer is.
It's like racist systems and racism that perpetrate racism.
Yeah, so,
and everyone's
that's
like,
why,
what?
That's why Ibram Kendi says you can be black and be a white supremacist and a racist. Because if you benefit from the system in place.
By the way, you know that's not his real name.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he has a regular name like Steve Johnson, and he changed it to, you know.
Yeah, his parents, I read everything about him. His parents put him in a very, very good school. They wanted to get him out of Baltimore, and that good for his parents. You know, his parents were black nationalists, but intellectual black nationalists. And
here it is. Listen to this. It's so funny. Janelle, I forget what her name is. She is part of the people who just torpedoed ESPN with race grifting forever.
Yeah, there's somebody bring your microphone.
Thank you. That was excellent. And I'm wondering, I just finished reading Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility.
Terrible book.
And I think she did like an excellent job of defining racism as like a system of oppression as opposed to like a personal choice. It's like, it's there, you benefit from it, or you don't.
By the way, a white woman from New York is telling everybody about racism.
Oh, it's amazing. She's the worst. I read that terrible book too. That book is so bad.
What do you hate read? Are you a hate reader?
Yeah, I read everybody I disagree with. I read
respect,
but I give them
by read or listen.
I read that. I read their book or I listen to the book in its entirety, and I really give them a fair shake.
Okay, respect.
Yeah. About the importance of defining racism, but I unless I missed it, which is possible. I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like, how do you define racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
Wow, that's a circular definition.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you are black,
that is just like I can say anything and you guys will just eat it up.
But we have to give that side of the debate its credit. If you and I were black, we would have a lot more in common with what he's saying. And the reason we would is we'd have a very different experience in this country. And at the end of the day, America for a long time has been a racist country. It has been a country in a lot of ways that was organized around benefiting white people because that's who established the culture. And remember that Africans were brought here as slaves, and we've been a nation longer with slavery than we have been without. That has a ripple effect. So there is no doubt that a lot of black men especially have not participated in the better parts of our economy, of our entire world. There are, but there's been so much effort to get laws in the books that make sure that that is not the case, but it doesn't mean they help. It doesn't mean that government can do all that work. It doesn't mean, Ibram Kendi, that you can change policy and that's actually going to change your plight. What I believe is individuals have to say, yeah, this all sucks, but I got to fucking react to it. I got to do something about it. And the reason I know you can do that is there are plenty of black people that have done that and continue to do that against all odds. That's the American way.
Against all odds. That's
fucking
interesting.
I'm awesome.
Like they wake up and it's just like, what? Let's go. I mean, like, listen, I get it, man.
I don't want to work out some days, but I do. You know what I mean, Sam?
Right. And so you're comparing yourself to the black America. So here's what I got to say. You know, everything that I've ever learned in recovery, this new weaponized version of oppression says the exact opposite. And in a weird way, you're saying the exact opposite. What you're saying is that people wake up in the morning and you use the term against all odds, and like there is this movement to just hold people down. Here's what I've learned in my life. Nobody's thinking about me, right? Nobody cares. Everyone's trying to say they're white knuckling their own life. All right. And that most of the problems in my life are directly related to the decisions I've made and the actions I've taken. What this guy does is take out any personal responsibility for where you are in your life.
That's the best. Some days you say shit that's so concise, so clear, and so true. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
The fact that you just said something and encapsulated the entire fucking debate in a long sentence is proof that you're a genius and crazy at the same time, because then you go into Moloch.
Okay, which is totally
and
true.
You might be right about that too.
Yeah,
Well, can
exactly.
we get into scientist
You
Sam?
might be a prophet, Sam. It's why every one of my friends loves you more than they like me.